Hello, I'm Seth Johnson with Land House. So, on the tiny house build, our concrete foundation and blocks and anchor bolts are done, which means it's time to start swapping over to woodworking. I have some 2x8 12-foot boards that will go on top of the blocks. Now, because I have a vapor barrier underneath the pad, there's really no need to put another vapor barrier on top of the blocks as long as your board is treated. So let's see if we can get this board attached to the blocks. Let's get started. I'm going to set this board across here, match it up with the ends, and kind of see how close we are to 12 foot here. That is real close. I don't think I'll even have to cut this one at all. So now the question is, how do we get the holes drilled in here for these anchor bolts to attach? Let's find out. So I'm looking at this and realizing that not all the anchor bolts are going to be the same distance from the edge. So use a tape measure here and maybe find out just how far it is between each one. Like this one to center is 3 3/4. So just mark it on there and move to the next one. So this one is almost 3.5. I marked out the 3 anchor bolt spots, and I'm going to try and use a drill with a 1/2 inch bit on it. I've got wood bits if this doesn't work, but those just take so long. So I'm going to see here what happens. We'll see if that fits. Before I go on drilling any more holes, I'm gonna just see if this little hole here will fit on this. Oh yeah, very nice. So we'll just keep using that drill bit for the rest of these. Oh boy, so the method I was just trying to use would have worked if my foundation were square. It's not. Well, the corners are fairly square, but my row here of blocks is veered off to the side. So I'm going to re-drill these holes to fit square instead of fitting the blocks, because it's going to be so much easier to build up from here on a square foundation. So let's do that. There's probably some super easy way of doing this that I'm not aware of, but I've lined up my corners and now I'm just coming up under here and marking where the next screw will be. So we'll recut and see what happens. I guess we live and learn by experimenting when no one has taught us what to do. Let's try this again with these new drill holes. Maybe. Oh yeah, there we go. So before I put the board all the way down, I've got some of this caulk that I want to put on top of the block. maybe that'll keep out some bugs. So I'm gonna do that now. Okay, the caulk is now down. See if I can use my adjustment tool to get this board down. Nice and loud. The next step is to put these washers on here and these nuts and tighten them down really good. I'm just going to use a pair of channel locks here to get these tight. And there we have the first board attached and ready to go. So now that that one's done, I'm going to move over here to the doorway spot and get this one done. So we'll have to use the saw and cut a little bit. So I'm going to find out the distance here. Right at 55 3/4 inches. So let's cut that down from one of these boards. 55 3/4. Alright, that one is also a nice fit. I'm going to go ahead and get those holes drilled and get that one installed. And then I'll show you on the next section. So, be right back. I have the front two pieces installed. Now it's time for this side piece. So I'm going to measure between that board and that board. Sometimes it would be nice to have a second person out here, even if it's just to hold the tape measure. Looks like 128 1/4 inches. So now that I've done a couple of these, I'm finding out that it's easier to place the board on top of the bolts and then make your pencil circles. That way you can line up the ends where they need to be and avoid that off square issue. So I'm going to install this one and I will show you what it looks like in the end. I just got the last piece on, so I'm going to make you dizzy here and do a 360 so you can see the whole thing. There you go. So most of my block work wasn't too far gone, but I still think I should go back, since I bought 3 tubes of this caulk, I think I should go back and hit all the corners here just to really make sure it stays bug proof, waterproof, all that good stuff. Oops. Well, we got that finished. It's very exciting to be moving from concrete up to wood. So I assume in the next video I'll be putting in some stud walls. Now I know nothing about that, so between this video and that video I'll be doing a lot of research. Well, thanks for watching this tiny house video. I'm Seth Johnson with Land a House, and I'll see you next time. Bye.